2, 1,
click it. Well, good evening. Hello, chat. It's me. Hey, it's me, and it's him.
Hello.
Yeah, it's about 9 minutes. And thank you, Sav. Sav said it's all good. So it's all good. Hello, chat.
Excellent.
Who's in there? Rob, Lal, Bernice. Hello, Bernice. Max, Pete, Chief, Fuzzy, DD, Carl Blaze. I just read what Monster Rob had put. So hello, Monster Rob. Yes, me and him are here. And Sav says, don't forget to press play. Very important to press play, otherwise you can't see us, and you wouldn't have heard that. Yeah, so you need to do that. Chiefy, hello Chiefy. What about you? It's all good. Kim, Keith, Sputs. Dave K's in the room as well. Hello Dave K. It's all happening. Yes, well, we're going to be going in a second, so it's I don't know, should we give it 10 seconds and then start the show? What do you reckon?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah. Ridian says we're on the live page too, which is cracking. I like that. Right, so we'll give it 5 seconds and then we'll do the sting, I think. What do you reckon? Yes. Okay.
Nothing like a good sting.
Yeah. See you in a second. Whoa. I'll let exhale that vapor. Good evening. It is just past 9 o'clock and it's Tuesday the 12th of May 2015. Yes, it is. At least that's what my calendar tells me. It's been a long few days for the Vape Trials TV team. Most of us were at Vape Jam. As you're going to see over this week, you're going to be overloaded. We had an absolute ball. And Gary was there on the Saturday, weren't you, Gary?
Yeah, it was steamy, wasn't it? It was definitely steamy. It was great to see so many faces and catch up with all the team again, and just I was gobsmacked, to be honest, for the when we first went in. It wasn't although I had an expectation, it wasn't sort of as I expected it, if you get me.
Yeah, well, you can save that for after the titles, mate.
Yeah,
because we're going to be talking in the first section here about our experience and what we thought. In the second half, I have a little VT, what I edited earlier, which I hope you're going to enjoy. And then in part 3, yesterday, I went up to Harrogate to see Graham and Dominic, who are the organisers of Ecig Expo, which is the next vaping expo we have in the vaping calendar this year. So I'll bring you our little interview in the third half, and we can look forward to the next event. And then, of course, after that we have Vaper Expo, and then after that we have Vape Fest. So it's a pretty damn full calendar for vapors this year, which is absolutely wicked. But more about that after we have the titles. Oh yes, it's Vaper Scene. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids. Yes, indeed. I'll turn my volume off again. I was listening to the music. I like the funky music. I was just asking our team Skype how things were looking, because this week we're not using any 4G, because last week I used a huge amount of data and I haven't got enough left until tomorrow morning. So everything is coming on broadband. So hopefully everything will be okay. And if it's not, I apologise in advance. But everything should be okay. So, yes, Vape Jam, which was that, which was last weekend. I didn't get to the after party, I have to say, because I was knackered beyond belief. I thought my knees were going to give way on day one, but by day two, that was it. You could have just called me an ambulance and taken me back to my lodgings, because I was absolutely worn out. Apparently, I walked 4.5 miles on the Friday and 3.5 miles on the Saturday, according to my Fitbit tracker. Other trackers are, of course, available, and loads and loads of floors, stairs climbed, all that kind of stuff. So, yes, it was no wonder I was feeling it. What about you, Gary?
Yeah, I felt it on the Sunday, to be honest with you. And yeah, I woke up feeling like a rather old man. Everything hurt, and I don't know why. I was chasing some of those girls. No, I wasn't. But it was. Yeah, I just constantly walking up and down, up and down, up and down, and trying to chat to as many people as we could, and this and the other. It was really sort of full on. God knows how you guys did it for the 2 days, but I certainly felt like a 45-year-old man waking up on the Sunday with knee problems and back problems and all sorts of problems. But yeah, it was a very, very good event. I mean, luckily we were only sort of half an hour's drive away, so it was absolutely bang on for us, if you know what I mean. But I know people travelled far and wide to get there, didn't they? People from all over the globe. I mean, I bumped into guys from sort of France, a guy from Germany, obviously all the guys and exhibitors that come over from the States. I mean, that was one hell of a trip with some of the stuff. I mean, the stuff that they must have brought with them, and I was just gobsmacked at the cost that those guys must have incurred to get there for those 2 days. I think that was the biggest thing that was sort of, it wasn't until you were stood and missed everything, and it was a mist. At one point, you couldn't really see much, could you? Standing in the middle of there looking around, it was just, what those guys, A, had put into organising the event, and B, the people that were there exhibiting, what those guys had put in terms of effort into the event as well. I think it made it, all in all, a really superb day. I know I've been reading certain bits and pieces about, obviously people moan, don't they? And it's not to everybody's taste, and people were surprised that it was mainly a juice thing. But I found hardware there on the day. It was, mainly a lot of the US juices, but that's what intrigued me, because I was saying to you before, I've been a juice virgin, really. Even though I've been vaping for 6 years, I've tended to stick, grab something and vape it for best part of a year plus. I know Dave Kay's pretty much the same as well. I was having a chat with him, and it was just really interesting to go around and try all these juices. I mean, and quite a few of them were at zero nic, and to be honest, I couldn't tell the difference, and some of the bits, a couple of samples I've got here at the moment, sort of 3 mil, I'm finding them fine. Really bizarre. So it's opened up I'm going to become a juicer, I think. It's opened up, another dimension for me. Flavors, I've got lots, flavors to try now, and interesting and weird and bizarre ones. Yes. Yeah.
I got to say that we went around and we talked to a lot of the vendors. There was a big kind of blow up igloo. It was the smoky
Yeah.
guys from Paris, and they had some juices there, and we all tried those, and they were all zero nic. The flavours were great. Now I came away with a few bottles of that. I think it's 6 milligram. Most of the flavours that were out there were either 0 or 3 or 6, really kind of aimed at the cloud chasers. There were some 18s, and Gary and I have both got a set of juices from a particular company that we're going to look at in a little juicy sections over the coming months. In fact, I've got one of them in here now, and this is an 18 milligram, because I have been using a 6 milligram for the past couple of days. So I've got up to 18, which is even better when you're sub-ohming. Because I sub-ohm at 24. I'm hard. I'm a Yorkshireman. But yeah, the flavours were great. There was Elements, one of the ones from Miami in Florida. And if you're watching, hello Nikita, because she was giving me some nice flavours. And I've had some Elements juice before. I've got one here, in fact. This is a strawberry whip, which I had a while ago, 80-20 PG VG, and it's only 3 milligram, but it's a really nice flavour. So there were some great flavours there, lots of juices. I did manage to pick up a second Vaper Shark RDNA 40 with the big screen, which is nice. And I've also picked up the QI charger for the Vaper Shark, and our very own Matt Gerrish has printed me a QI charger holder stand for the RDNA 40, which I will put together in a little bit of VT, possibly for next week, and we can make available all the details of where to get that particular mod build from and all that kind of stuff. We'll look at that maybe next week. But yes, there were lots of juices and some vendors who were selling the mods as well. So it wasn't all just juice. You know, I think people might think it was all juice, but it wasn't all juice. There was quite a few vendors there as well who were selling mods. I didn't get round to everybody, which is crazy, given the fact that it wasn't that big, really, but there was a lot packed into that space. But there was plenty of space to get around, which was good. On the Friday, the business-to-business side, there were obviously less people, but the vapour in the room then was quite substantial. But on the Saturday, it was crazy, wasn't it?
It was it was immense. I think I've got some. I'm going to put together a little VT with some of the photos I took, and I've got one of Dave Kitson with his camera set up, and I must say I have got the smallest one in the team. I stood there when I first arrived, and I looked around all of you other guys, and I was stood there with just a tiny one in my hand, and I felt rather inadequate. But yes, we got some stills that we're going to be putting together. But it was just, you know, you couldn't see it at some points in the day, especially when they were doing the cloud competitions and all of that sort of stuff. See some extremely good and inventive mods, and I know there've been some pictures floating around at that. There's one guy who's walking around with half a motorbike, I think, including the brake lever as the trigger switch.
Yeah, you can see that in the VT later.
Yeah, and some other guy with was it an i4 charger stacked up with 4 batteries in, vaping away on that. Just bonkers, you know, lots and lots of stuff. It was interesting because, you know, I was with young Lewis, and he was randomly bumping into, because he's heavily into the car audio scene as a young guy, and his car spec'd up to, you know, God knows what, with speaker builds and this, that and the other. And he was saying he was absolutely amazed at the amount of people that he had bumped into from that scene at that event. And I had a little chat with some of them, and you know, they were saying it was an easy one to fall into. A lot of them obviously were smokers. They had they understand coils, ohms, this, that, and the other, because they have to understand that for their car audio things.
Yeah.
So the switch to vaping, that's why they're all walking around with, you know, drippers, this, that, and the other, even though they're relatively young in a journey, I would say. And you know, it pulled in a whole totally different crowd from this car audio scene as well that were there. So it was a really good mix of people. And you know, there was stuff there that if you chose to ignore, if you didn't, you know, you could choose to ignore it, I suppose, couldn't you? But you know, really, I can't say how much I enjoyed it. It was a very good day, and definitely well worth going. Like I say, it was an eye opener for me to meet you know, lots of new people from the States.
Yes, yeah, that was rather good. And I must just a comment from chat. Leanna Lawless says that she wants to see the whole of the VTTV team wearing mankinis. Leanna, no. Sorry, never going to happen. You really don't want to see this in a mankini, believe me. I don't want to see myself in a mankini, let alone anybody else see me in a chuffing mankini. Maybe, you know, Fufu and Mina will do it. They're always up for a laugh. But I bet Dave Dawn would do it as well for a laugh, but not a chance. Not a chance, dear viewers. Go for it, Gary.
I was going to say, I'll send her some of my holiday pictures. There's a few in them, but yes, carry on.
All I'm going to say is cheese strings.
Yeah.
You know, other dairy-based cheese snacks are also available. What else have chat got to say? Vape me stupid. So help me God, if Vape hires half-naked chicks, I'm walking around with my tatas out. I'll be there with my camera. All I'm going to say. Yeah, Meg. That's all I'm going to say. I'll be there with my camera. Yes, there were some scantily clad booth bunnies, which you know, it's kind of a contentious thing, isn't it? It's big in the States. Apparently, though, in the Las Vegas one, you saw nothing. Vape Jam was nothing compared to what happens in the States. So I think it was relatively tasteful. However, it didn't detract from my enjoyment. The only thing for me that was a slight pain was trying to do an interview when you've got loud music, which kind of, it was good for the atmosphere. It's just not very conducive to getting an interview on tape, or on memory card, I should say. But I did come away with 30 gigs of footage, which was quite a lot. Yeah. So I think between us, we probably had over 100 gigs of footage that we've been sharing on our team Google Drive. So the interweb has been going absolutely crazy on my computer. But there you go. Leanna says, we've seen the crack of dawn already. Yes, once is probably enough, Leanna. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Monster Rob, they're all big in the States. I like going to the States because it makes me look quite small when I go to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Not that I've been to America for a long time. Mexico, yes, I've been there many times, yeah, I don't mind so much going on the beach in Mexico because there's lots of other whales as well, so I don't get carted off by Greenpeace. Gary, you don't have that issue because you're a little person compared to the big people. You're on camera. I've switched to see you on camera. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can't see. I'm blind today, aren't I? Yes, we're trying to save bandwidth, so I can't see what the hell's going on anyway. But yeah. Am I? No, I'm gradually growing. The what once used to be a six-pack many moons ago is now rapidly developing to the keg, as my wife points out every morning. So yes, and I used to be able to slide in and out of places, not anymore. No.
I can slide in and out of places as long as there's a really wide gap. Well, there you go. Yes, it was a good weekend though, I have to say. I got back quite late on Monday morning, I must say. The rest of the guys got home Sunday. I got home about, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So it was a rather long weekend, but it's all good. It's all good. And I've spent a considerable amount of time doing you a lovely edit on the bit of VT that we're going to show after the break, which very kindly kind of segues me into saying, we'll see you in part 2. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
And now it's back to Vaper Scene on Vapor Trails TV. Vaper Scene is sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids. And we are back in the room. Hello. Yes, so coming up now is a little bit of VT that I've put together, which is kind of my view on Vape Jam UK. There are bits where there's no sound, but there's music. There's my own music on there, not my personal music, but the music that we use. And you'll see a few faces that you know. Yes. I hope you enjoy. We'll be seeing you in a minute.
particularly from the US and from the UK, and we're now branching out into Europe. But our main objective is to try and curate the best ranges of gourmet and premium e-liquids possible, and to make the buying experience as easy as possible. Because with so many ranges, it's often very hard to choose. You don't know, and you're looking at a site, and it becomes quite overwhelming. So we've invented our e-liquid finder, where you can put in the parameters that actually you're interested in. So you can set your VG level, you can set your nicotine level, you can set if you want a certain variety, so fruity or dessert or what have you. And then you can also pick little individual things if you want alcohol free or you want 100% organic, etc, etc. So we're trying to make it easy for someone who hasn't tried the juices to at least narrow down the options. And then of course it's all about customer service. We just want to get the product to you in the best condition as quickly as possible, and if there's a problem, we'll try and sort it out as best we can.
Okay, and what's your website address?
It's www.vapeclub.co.uk.
Marvellous, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I'm here finally with Matt Bradley at Vape Jam. It's absolutely manic today. He was here yesterday as well, but we finally caught up. Matt has got 2 new stores in the US now, and as you know, if you watch Discovery Channel and Team Deadliest Catch, you'd have seen this man there, very wet, very windy, and catching some big ass crabs. Hello, Matt.
How we doing today, folks? Glad to be a part of this. It's like a piece of vaping history right here. Being here today, I'm told this is the biggest convention you guys have had here in the UK so far.
Yeah, we've had Vape Fest in the past, and we'll have Vape Fest again this year.
That's
But
October?
Vape Fest is August this year.
August, okay.
Yeah, but this is the first American-style convention that we've had in the UK. And yesterday, as you know, was pretty manic. What is
A lot more people here today. I'm really happy with the turnout. It's pretty neat seeing what the vape industry is like on this side of the world. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is very different, isn't it? How we have things set up over here, and especially the kind of conventions. You guys in the States do conventions really well. I think we're catching up now.
Oh yeah, this will give you an idea of what it's like when we do a convention in the U.S. It's about double the size of this. This is nice and intimate. You can actually make it to every booth, so I think it's a good happy medium in there for a convention size.
So you're over here supporting Dan with his new range of juices. You want to tell us a bit about them?
So this one here, we have this one here is the Counterculture line and the Odin Baker White line. Both some fabulous juices. It's a little more high-end, comes with a nice can. Really unique flavor profiles. And this one here, meeting all the U.S. standards. Diacetyl free, no food dyes. Pretty amazing juice. It's an amazing custard line. So that's a neat bottle and cool packaging. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, good packaging. And are these going to be available over in the UK from any UK vendors?
I don't know who all has picked the lineup this week or this weekend. I don't know who all grabbed it. There's definitely been a big response, so I believe you'll be able to find it locally really soon.
I mean, a lot of us do buy from the States anyway.
Yeah.
You have to buy big, otherwise it's not really worth it on the shipping. But yeah, some of us do buy some juice from the
Quite
UK.
a bit to ship juice over here, or just shipping in general?
That would be quite expensive to ship from the States because of the weight. Yeah. So tell us a bit more about your journey into vaping, because I know obviously when you were on the Northwestern, there was a lot of smoking going on.
Most of you will know, I've been a commercial fisherman for 23 years. The last 11 on Deadliest Catch. It's been quite an experience to be a part of the TV show. On an average fishing trip, buy 30 cartons, 10 packs to a case of cigarettes, buy 30 cartons. I was smoking 3 to 4 packs a day, and my wife, children, and grandchildren were tired of me smoking. So they bought me some basic starter kits and said, please at least try this. I had tried patches, I had tried the gum, tried several different options to quit smoking. The electronic cigarette or vaping changed the way I feel about it, and vaping saved my life. You know, I went from smoking 3 and 4 packs a day, trying to do harm reduction by getting down to 2 packs, and there's no harm reduction in it. You need to quit smoking. I believe vaping to be 100% safer than a combustible cigarette, and once I finally made that commitment to just vape, it worked. It absolutely worked for me.
I think, as we all know, that those of us who've made the change, we all feel better. We all have much more fun vaping than we ever did with lit cigarettes.
I can vape just about anywhere. My wife lets me vape in home, in the house. I live in a very wet climate. Going outside, smoking sucked. To be outside freezing, I get to use this product in my home. I use it around the kids. Don't always approve of it, but you know, it's just nice to be able to sit on the couch and not have to go outside and have a cigarette. I don't feel so connected to the cigarettes anymore. It's pretty amazing.
It's also a lot less to carry if you were still on the boats rather than 30 cartons.
Oh yeah. Last trip I took 15 mils with me, and about 30 mils in a couple of 120 mil bottles. I did not want to run out of juice. I brought lots of batteries and about 30 mods with me. I was like, my wife's like, "Are you taking it all?" I said, "Yeah." I don't know what's going to work up there. What's more water resistant? So I killed a couple of mods.
And what about the temperature? Because it can get quite cold, can't it, at the Bering Sea?
Battery life got cut down from the cold. I try to keep the device inside, you know, just run in, up my nick level, take a couple of big rips, and go back out on deck. The guys are getting kind of mad at me because I'm fiddly messing around with it, trying to drip some juice. I'll be right there, but it's all right. It panned out. At the end of the season, the guys are like, we're really proud of you for quitting smoking. And since I've got 2 more of the guys to quit smoking, they're part-time vapors, but don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Jake Anderson from our boat and Edgar Hansen. I believe, to the best of my knowledge, Edgar still hasn't had a cigarette all year. So I'm pretty proud of it.
It's rather good if you can then show other people what it's like. And you know, you might have had the first all vaping deadliest catch boat.
That would be awesome. If I can get Sig Hansen to convert to vaping, we'll really have it made. Really have it made. It'd be pretty awesome to have all 6 of us on the boat vaping and vaping on TV. That'd be even cooler.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need to have more exposure of vaping on mainstream television and not just specialist stuff like we do and the different vaping shows, but mainstream footage, more mainstream media attention, but not only the negative, not only the batteries blowing up or you know, somebody ingesting e-juice or whatever. We all know what the dangers are of the e-juice. We all keep it safe. Accidents will happen, battery accidents will happen, but they say they will with laptop batteries or with mobile batteries too. So,
and the devices are getting more and more regulated. They're more safety conscious. You know, I will not carry products. I usually test things in our store before I give it to our customers to sell, or I get feedback from Phil Basardo, Demetrius, people that are actually big in the industry, have their heart into it and care about it. You know, so practicing battery safety, proper care of your e-juice, treat it like it's medicine, especially if it's high nick or low nick or 0 nick. We don't need our kids picking this stuff up. Be a responsible vapor. You know, it's very something I practice every day at home. You know, my speech in the store is keep your e-juice up on the top shelf. Keep it out of reach of pets, children, please, for the safety of the industry and yourself and your family.
yeah, wise words there, Matt, I think. Thanks so much for talking to us, and good luck with the 2 new stores.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thank you. This could be overkill. Because we've got Dave Kitson with a full beard, going on a full beard. He's not even gone for the Avengers, X-Men type look today. He's on with a full beard, and he's got this amazing rig powered by a tiny atom of dead star. It is amazing stuff. What can I say? Here at Vapejam TV, we push the boundaries in broadcasting and in videography. 12 minutes. That's what Matt says. Thanks for that clap. Back to the studio.
And there we go. That was my personal perspective on my 2 days at Vape Jam UK. I hope you enjoyed the sounds. I'm seeing in chat there you enjoyed the musics, which is rather good. We will talk more about that in part 3. So we'll see you after the break. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids.
Vapers, Dripper just got 40% bigger. So if you love discovering new e-liquids, tell Dripper what flavours you like and we'll send you 70ml of juice and at least 5 flavours. With a money-back guarantee and free delivery anywhere in Europe, dripper.co.uk.
RY4 Radio.
What's in this e-cig cloud? Harmless water vapour, right? Pretty much, yes. Compared to a lit cigarette, it's much safer than smoke. But it contains nicotine, and nicotine on its own isn't toxic and doesn't cause cancer. If you're worried about switching to vapour, here are some facts. No tar, no smoke, no burnt tobacco. Cooking your evening meal produces more toxins than are found in exhaled vapour. Tobacco smoke contains toxins at very high levels, and vapour does not. And that vapour contains 6,000 times less carcinogens than cigarette smoke. Electronic cigarette vapour. There's nothing to be frightened of. The only dangerous electronic cigarette is a banned one.
And now it's back to Vaper Scene on Vapor Trails TV. Vaper Scene is sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids. And welcome back. Hello. Just reading in chat there. Yes, we'll have to change the RY4 radio a bit. We'll do that very shortly. I'm glad you enjoyed the VT. That was 2 days of filming and 5 hours of editing for a 16-minute VT. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's fun to do, I have to say. Garry, I lost Garry, but I've got Garry back. So Garry, over to you.
Yeah, I was just picking up, and I, by the way, fantastic VT, as I said earlier, absolutely great. I think some of the stuff that's going to be coming in the next few days and weeks, once that massive library of stuff is painstakingly put together, there's going to be some cracking videos floating around soon, I'm sure. I was just picking up one thing in chat. Somebody said that the problem with the American juices is they don't have any child safety caps.
Yeah.
Now, that was my perception. When I first arrived. Now, it was my perception until I got back home after Vape Jam. I turned into a juice whore and wanted to try different things. And I was pleasantly surprised, because I'm going to go to the microphone, because this is one from Mystique. Child safety cap. This is the Vapor Shark stuff. child safety cap. Suicide Bunny, child safety cap. 12 Monkeys, child safety cap. So pretty much everything that I picked up that come from the US was sporting a child safety cap. Now, whether that's a bit of a spin around, whether it was because they were bringing it to UK, we don't know. I don't know whether you know. But most of the stuff, or probably, I haven't looked at about 190% of what I've got in front of me has got a safety cap on, child safety cap. So it looks like that to me be a move in a very good direction. One thing that they haven't got is a PG-VG mix, which surprises me. I'm sort of having to guess by glooping the bottle around. But yes, they do definitely do. Whether they were the ones that are coming over that previously didn't, and whether they will now, I don't know. But there we go.
I have to say, Elements as well. This is an Elements juice, but I bought it in the UK. Has got a child safety cap, and this is some of the Captains, which is a UK vendor, but child safety cap. So there were some of the dripping type bottles that may have come with an extra cap, because I know, like Mrs. Lord's, for instance, you get a dripper cap, but you also get a child safety cap as well. So that is kind of coming as part of the FDA thing, I believe. So we will all be doing the same thing with the child safety caps. They don't have to be chip compliant in the States, because obviously that's a European directive, so they don't need to have the haptic label, the little raised triangle in the States, but they are moving towards the child-proof caps, which is good because we like to be safe. So I'll have some more, possibly some more VT from Vape Jam next week, but that's going to be more on the advocacy side, because Vivi were there. You saw there Twiglet Sarah and Lorien Cerulean C from the NNA. They did a presentation. They were fantastic. Both of those were fantastic. The disheartening part really was the people who actually watched those presentations. There weren't many. There should have been a lot more who actually stood there and watched the presentations, because it's all about what's happening to our entire community. It's, you really got to stand up and pay attention and know what's happening. And without doing that, you won't know what's happening, and it will pass you by. And all of a sudden, you won't be able to get what you want because you didn't pay attention in the first place. So I'll try and bring you those. I know Dave is going to bring you some of it. So between us, we will bring you all the relevant information. And thanks to Matt and to Dave Dawn, because little bits of my VT they filmed. We all shared our footage. So there you go. So that's Vape Jam for me for now. What's coming up next is a little bit of VT I filmed yesterday up in Harrogate. This is the venue where the EIG Expo is going to be on the 27th and 28th of June. It is this one, the Electronic Cigarette Exhibition 2015 at the Yorkshire Event Centre in Harrogate. And I went and saw Graham and Dominic, who are the organisers, and here it is. So I'm here with Graham McGee and Dominic Bartle from Ecig Expo, and we're at the Harrogate event show, and we're currently stood in the cloakroom of Hall 2, which is massive. It's a really, really good space, and as you can see behind the two gentlemen, there's a lot of space there, and it's currently empty. This will very soon be filled at the end of June. It's the 27th and 28th of June, the Saturday and the Sunday. So tell the viewers a little bit more about your event and what they're going to expect.
Well, we came up with the idea late last year on the back of the UK not having any representation in the way of exhibitions. I mean, of course, now you've got 2-3 different UK exhibitions, but we felt we needed an exhibition that would properly and professionally represent the e-cigarette industry. We started in December. We're still going now, still a lot to do, although it's taking place next month. On day 1 is the general public day, and day 2 is committed solely to the trade. On visiting the exhibition, people can expect to see 50 to 60 exhibitors from the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Greece. We have a delegate of 7 different companies from China coming over as well. We've got companies from America as well, so it's going to be a well represented event.
And you've got a good mix of hardware as well as juice on this event.
Yeah, I think just to expand on that, the reason we broke it down into 2 separate days to have a dedicated trade day was on the back of that. We felt there was a need for the general public to understand what's going on within the industry. So we have people who are involved in the TPD and the regulation. On the Sunday, there's so little information out there for vendors of compliance and access to impartial knowledge of how they can continue with their businesses. So the Sunday evolved around that, around industry professionals meeting each other, discussing ideas. We have testing companies coming who can advise on what's needed for legislation and really to try and offer a solution. And we felt that if we could just block a day out for trade to speak like, and obviously companies can find new hardware for shops, they can look at new juice companies on a wholesale basis. We thought it would be extremely beneficial for the business side to represent the industry in that way as well.
So you've got a good mix of hardware as well as juice. I believe that there's going to be a big mixing demonstration by Deccan Vapors.
There is, yeah. We are yet to agree on what Deccan Vapors are going to be actually doing. They're going to be running some form of workshop or seminar and at different intervals over the days. That will be announced nearer the time, and obviously the times of those seminars as well.
And what about things like food and drink and accessibility and parking?
Well, as you see, I mean, we've got 6 different toilets here. We've got a restaurant, a really good restaurant to the right of the exhibition hall. Ample parking for hundreds of cars.
Which is free.
Which is free, by the way, and hoping that we've got a good couple of days as in weather. Then we've got an outside eating area as well. People can go out for walks and look at the rural and countryside of North Yorkshire.
I think people, they can bring their own picnics as well. There's ample grounds and seating on the outskirts of the building where people can just sit down, relax and get some ventilation as well.
Yeah, ventilation is good. It's very tall in there. It's quite cavernous, very echoey at the moment, hence we're actually talking in here, otherwise it'd be quite echoey. But once the carpet's down and everyone's in, it's fine. I've been here so many times for the Great Yorkshire Show, and the only thing that's missing for me in the grounds is the Black Sheep beer tent, which I do partake quite nicely of when I come here. But if it's weather like today, and you'll see as I cut little images in of what it's like today, if it's like today, then it's going to be a really, really good day. What about camping? Can people come and camp or not?
They can, yeah. There's the Harrogate campsite just down the road where people can pitch a tent, or they can bring caravans as well. I think you'd have to go through, I think anybody putting in Harrogate campsite or the Great Yorkshire Showground, they'll find the details online.
If the weather's there, I think camping's a great option.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the infrastructure, we have to bear this in mind as well. I mean, we're bang in the middle of the country. You know, we've got direct bus routes from the town centre, you've got train, obviously, Leeds and Bradford Airport, so we're ideally located as well.
We've got ample hotels as well, and part of the reason we chose Harrogate, with it being a central location, was we can get people from the northern sector and also Scotland to come down instead of travelling to London for every exhibition or even the NEC. We felt it was a great venue for that. Instead of just seeing a concrete jungle, we thought the picturesque nature of the showgrounds would fit nicely in summer.
As I keep telling my viewers, there's no such nice place as Yorkshire. It's God's own country. I think that's the beauty of the way it's gone this year with the events. We had Vape Jam at the beginning of May, last weekend, which was very good, very different. I see your event being very good and different And then, of course, there's the one in NEC, which will be different, and Vapefest. So there's going to be so much choice for everybody, no matter where they live in the country, to come to an event and meet other vapers, meet people you haven't seen for a while. When I met loads of people at the weekend that I haven't seen since last year. So it's always good to catch up with people you meet during your journey, your own vaping journey. But if you can't make it to this one, and you made it to London because you live in London, then I think that's the beauty of having different events across the country.
I think one of the key areas for the industry is not to see it as competition, see it as a way that vapers can attend and unite wherever's convenient for them. They can look at different things happening at different events and choose what suits them. And if we can cater for it, come down. The website's up, ecigexpo.co.uk, easily found on Google. Our details, we're contactable. Any questions, more than happy to speak to anybody who wants to call in.
And of course, Vapor Charles TV will be here in force, as we were at the weekend. There'll be a fair few of us milling around, and we're going to have a stand at this one and the next one. So if you are there, we will let you know what our stand number is once we get it, so you can come and see us and come and see everybody else who is going to be here. So guys, I believe that the exhibition itself is free. However, you do need people to pre-register before they turn up, otherwise there will be a charge. Is that right?
That's right, yeah, that's important. People can register by visiting the website, which is ecigexpo.co.uk. All you have to do, put in your details, we'll receive your registration, you'll be notified by your entrance card, your badge, and that goes for day 1 and day 2. Unfortunately, if you don't pre-register, then there will be a charge of £5 on the door.
Okay, so people will get their badge via email, which they can print out?
They then present that on the door when they arrive, yes, to gain admission for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no charge for the parking?
No, totally free parking, yeah.
Okay. So on the Saturday, which is the 27th of June,
yeah, that's the general
you're
public
opening at 10 AM, is that right?
The doors open at 10 o'clock, yeah, and the exhibition will go on until 6 o'clock on the Saturday evening.
And on the Sunday for the vendors, it's
Sunday hours, which is 10 till 4 PM.
Those dratted Sunday hours.
Yeah.
It gives
Sunday laws, unfortunately.
Sunday laws, and it also gives vendors a good time to break down at the end of a Sunday, so they can get away at a decent hour.
I'll probably break down on Saturday night by the time I finish walking around the event all day. My legs are still recovering from the weekend.
I don't think there's as much mileage to walk around this one as it was at Vape Jam.
I think, to be honest, I mean, looking at the size of this hall too, I think the event will only grow over the coming years. And it'd be a nice thought that we could move into the bigger hall, which is next door, which is actually going to be demolished after the Great York Show this year. And there's going to be a new £10 million state-of-the-art hall 1 made. That's, I believe, is going to be done and dusted within a 10-month period. So this time next year, who knows? You know.
Yeah, I think we've looked at that due to the manufacturing side of things and the hardware, which we think is really key. I think it's one thing that we've worked very, very hard on obtaining some of these manufacturers to come across, and we think that will grow with the likes of Sigelli and Camry and Dovpo, Sailing Technology, Kimry, just to name a few, and we do have another couple of larger well-known ones who are on the verge of booking as well. They travel around the world to the Vape Expos in Germany, Frankfurt, and across the States as well, and there is no reason, the market within this country is fantastic, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be exhibiting here as well.
Excellent. Well, we're all looking forward to the next event in the vaping calendar this year, which is Ecig Expo, and we will see you on the day. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
And we are back to the studio. Apologies for the hoover that was hoovering in the background. There was some work going on there, and I just couldn't edit that sound out. It wouldn't go. I did try. Yeah, so that was Graham and Dominic from Ecig Expo, and it's the 27th and 28th of June, as in the VT there. And you need to go to the website and then go onto the public registration page in order to register. You'll get an email back, and then that is your ticket. It's very important you do that if you want to go, because apparently there will be this £5 charge, which is administered by the event itself, the actual venue itself, which will then have to be passed on. So it's free to go, just make sure you register, and all will be rosy. And I noticed in chat there someone put that NEC was the 17th and the 18th. It's actually the 10th and 11th of July is the Vaper Expo at the NEC. And we'll bring you more details about that as that one gets closer. Vape Charles TV will be there. We're having a stand at the next two events. So if you are going to pop along, come and find us and say hello. Gary, very quickly, because we're just about out of time.
Yes, looks a good one, that one, doesn't it? Looks a good one. I'm going to be missing that one and doing the Birmingham one, but I should be looking forward to much footage when that does happen. Yes, I can't get a pass for that weekend, unfortunately. She said no.
Which one was that one? The Birmingham one?
No, Birmingham one I can do. Yorkshire one I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so yes, wife has said no. She's got to work.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Yes.
So yeah, from what I understand, there's definitely going to be Dave K. There's definitely going to be Dave D. There's definitely going to be me, plus some others at the next one, which is 27th to 28th of June. Anyway, that was a show this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow night it's the Cave with Matt Gerrish and possibly Mr. Ridian Mann, isn't it? And then on Thursday it's the Haze Hour with Mr. David Dawn and his organ playing sidekick, Mr. Keith Hibbert. And then of course next week we're back to Monday with Drips and Tips with Andy and Davey. Gary and myself, are you on screen now, Gary? He's this man here. You can't see me, you see, because I've turned off my camera, so you can't actually see me.
Very misleading this week.
We'll be back next Tuesday. I'm off to Scotland tomorrow. That should be fun, as it normally is. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Cheers.
Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and Pure Perfection e-liquids.